ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Canto 10, Chapter 13, Brahma stealing the boys and calves, Text 17. Kvapi adrishtvantar vipine vatsan palanscha vishvavit sarvam vidikritam Krishna sahasava jagamaha kvapi adrishtvantar vipine vatsan palanscha vishvavit sarvam vidikritam Krishna sahasava jagamaha kvapi adrishtvantar vipine vatsan palanscha vishvavit sarvam vidikritam Krishna sahasava jagamaha. Anybody wants to repeat? Mataji's. Word to word meanings. Kvapi, anywhere. Adrishtva, not seeing at all. Antah vipine, within the forest. Vatsan, the calves. Palan, cha, and their caretakers. The cowherd boys. Vishvavit, Krishna, who is aware of everything going on throughout the whole cosmic manifestation. Sarvam, everything. Vidhi kritam, was executed by Brahma. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Sahasa, immediately. Avajagamaha, could understand. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. When Krishna was unable to find the calves and their caretakers, the cowherd boys, anywhere in the forest, he could suddenly understand that this was the work of Lord Brahma. Purport. Although Krishna is Vishvavit, the knower of everything happening in the entire cosmic manifestation, as an innocent child, he showed ignorance of Brahma's actions. Although he could immediately understand that these were the doings of Brahma. This pastime is called Brahma Vimohan, the bewilderment of Brahma. Brahma was already bewildered by Krishna's activities as an innocent child, and now he would be further bewildered. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्वसे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So first of all, I would like to seek blessings from all the devotees sitting here for giving me an opportunity to speak on this elevated subject matter. And thank you for giving me this chance to share my understanding. So, in this purport, Prabhupada has focused on a very important word, Vishwavit. Vishwavit is translated as Krishna, who is aware of everything going on throughout the whole cosmic manifestation. So Krishna, he knows everything which is going on. When the cowherd boys and the calves, they were stolen, Lord Krishna could immediately understand that this was the work of Brahma. There are so many different demigods who are very powerful. Indra, Chandra, Lord Shiva, but Lord Krishna could immediately understand this is the work of Brahma. Right from the appearance of Krishna, he has seen that Kansa is sending so many demons every day, who is creating so much of disturbance. But right this time, Krishna is not suspecting that this is the work of Kamsa, but he immediately understood that this is been done by Lord Brahma. Why? Because Krishna is Vishwavit. He can understand each and everything which is going on. Because Lord Krishna is sitting in our heart as Paramatma. And he can understand our desires. He can smell our desires right from the time of inception. Another example for this is how Bali Maharaj's sister, she had a desire of Vatsalya when she saw Vaman Dev. But when she saw how Bali Maharaj was defeated, she desired to kill Krishna. And all her desires were fulfilled when she was given the birth of Putna. Krishna can understand our each and every desire. And therefore, this also gives us a word of caution that we have to be very alert in what kind of desires we are keeping. And gradually, by practicing devotional service, we have to purify our desires. Because desire is the only thing which we possess. Rest everything is given by Krishna. All the skills, power, everything is given by Krishna. But unfortunately, we are not able to develop the desire to surrender to Krishna. Somehow we have to purify our desires. Here, we are seeing that Lord Brahma is trying to hide the cowherd boys from Krishna. And Krishna can immediately understand. It was not difficult for him. It is just like when a small child and his father, they play hide and seek. And it's time for the small child to hide in the house. Where will he hide? He will hide himself inside, behind the curtains. But your legs are visible. He will hide himself near the bed, but you are still visible. The child is thinking that I can hide. But father can understand immediately he is hiding here. But out of play, he finds here, he finds there, just to give pleasure to the child. Similarly, in the next verse, it is written that therefore, just to create pleasure both for Brahma and for mothers of the calves and cowherd boys, Krishna, the creator of entire manifestation, expanded himself as calves and boys. So he is giving pleasure to Brahma also. Okay, you also try. But we have a very important lesson here, that we cannot understand Krishna by challenging him. Krishna is completely independent, Swarat, and he decides when he wants to reveal himself to us. In a few verses before, in the purport, Prabhupada writes that Brahma, with his Maya, wanted to test whether Krishna was actually present. So we cannot test Krishna. Krishna can be understood only by serving him with love and faith. When we serve Krishna with love and faith, then what will happen? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajadam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give buddhi yogam tam. It is not written buddhi, it is written buddhi yogam. What is the difference between buddhi and buddhi yogam? Yogam means connection, the intelligence which is connected to Krishna. Krishna gives us that intelligence which is connected to him. If it is simply intelligence, then we may use that intelligence to degrade ourselves. But here, when we try to serve Krishna very sincerely, tadami buddhi yogam tam, he gives that intelligence which is connected to Krishna. And when we utilize this intelligence in his services, then we get self-realization. Then we become realized souls. And to such self-realized souls, Krishna reveals himself. So we cannot understand Krishna just by testing him. If we look at the sun which is above our head, and we tell sun to immediately set, otherwise I will spit on you. Nothing will happen to the sun, your saliva will come and fall on your own face. So all kinds of challenges to Krishna, he is not answerable. He is not answerable to, he don't have to justify his credentials. He is completely Swarat. Out of his love and because of our sincerity, he manifests and he reveals himself. Brahma saw the childhood pastimes of Krishna, how Krishna is playing with these cowherd boys, and he became completely astonished that this is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is sitting with these cowherd boys and sharing the food, stealing from another's plate, eating from the left hand, and in between eating food mouth to mouth. Brahma became completely bewildered. This gives another lesson to us, that we should not believe in what we are seeing. Like Kunti Maharani says in her prayers, न लक्ष्य से मूढ़ दृशा नटो नाट्य धरो यथा माया जवनी का आच्छन्नम अज्ञाधोक्ष जमव्यमा न लक्ष्य से मूढ़ दृशा नटो नाट्य धरो यथा. So he is not visible to the fools, and he in front of us he is doing a play. And until we develop the right vision, we will not be able to see Krishna. See, there is a change in the angle of vision if we understand from the tattva. We see the similar case when Lord Ramchandra was performing his pastime, when Mother Sita was kidnapped. Lord Ramchandra, out of deep separation from Mother Sita, was crying. He was asking the trees, the plants, the birds, the animals, where is Sita, where is Sita? And when Lord Shiva and Mother Sati sees this, there is a change in the angle of vision. When Lord Shiva sees, he offers his obeisances to Lord Ram, that what wonderful pastime Lord Ram is doing. And Mother Sati, she feels little suspicious, that is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead who is crying for his kidnapped wife like this? If he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, why can't he bring his wife back? Why is asking the trees and animals, where is my Sita? She becomes completely bewildered. So this is the angle of vision which we have to understand. The basic point here which we can learn is that we believe in our senses. This is our mistake. When we come to devotional service, in the beginning of the session, in our beginning of our training sessions, we learn about Pratyaksh Praman and Anuman Praman. We learn the defects of Pratyaksh Praman and Anuman Praman. But in spite of being in devotional service for so long, we still have faith in this Pratyaksh Praman and Anuman Praman. How Mother Sati was having faith in what she was seeing. Lord Shiva is seeing also the same thing, but he's not believing in what he's seeing. Mother Sati is believing in what she is seeing. This is Pratyaksh. Brahma is believing in what he is seeing. And we also believe in this way. And because of the 4 defects, we get bewildered. We have so much faith on our Anuman Praman, and we make so much of Anuman on the devotees. He's like this, he's like this, he like this. And we tend to commit offenses. So, the basic thing is that we have to come back to basics. We may learn big things, but if we forget these basic things, then we lose the fundamentals. Again and again, we have to get back to the basics. Because our high birth, our anything good that we possess, anything big we possess, will not save us from any kinds of defects. Here in one of the purports in text 15, it is explained that even Lord Brahma, who is born of the lotus, he is also in this material platform. What to say about us? We are completely overpowered by these 4 defects. We get illusioned, we get cheated, we have limited senses, and we commit mistakes. So all we have to do is, we have to get back to basics. We have to chant our rounds properly, we have to be sincere in our reading, we have to be sincere in our services. We don't have to become too familiar with the process of devotional service. We have to be alert while performing them. Even if we are 5 years old in bhakti or 10 years old in bhakti or any number of years old in bhakti. Otherwise, what will happen? we will see the entire process of devotional service as just something ordinary. We will see Krishna as some extraordinary personality. Just like Srila Prabhupada gives an example in the 3rd canto of Bhagavatam. He says that from this ocean of milk, moon was born. But the fishes in the ocean of milk could not understand this is moon. They saw moon as just another fish or some another illuminating object. They could not understand this is moon. Similarly, we fishes cannot understand that Krishna is not like us. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This happens due to our ignorance. We understand Krishna is just another ordinary person. And then we see this chanting, which is the sound incarnation of Krishna, is an ordinary process. We see deities who is directly Krishna standing in front is ordinary. We see the Bhagavad Gita in scriptures, ordinary. We see the devotee who is sitting next to us as ordinary. We see Guru, who is the external manifestation of Paramatma, is ordinary. So we have to be very cautious. And that is why Srila Prabhupada explains in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse number 7, he says that generally people know that God is great, but they do not know in detail how God is great. Here are the details. If one knows factually how God is great, then naturally he becomes surrendered soul and engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord. When one factually knows the opulence of Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to Him. There is no alternative but to surrender to Him. This factual knowledge can be known from the descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures. Therefore, our understanding, our faith should be based on these scriptures. Then only we will be able to understand Krishna. So, until we change our vision by wearing this Shastra Chakshu, we will keep on assuming and we will reach nowhere. But is reading the scriptures is sufficient? No. Suppose if I have a disease, I am having fever. So the injunction is that I should go and take a medicine. But there could be so many reasons for getting fever. I may get fever because of cold. I may get fever because of some allergy. I may get fever because of cancer. I may get fever because of coronavirus. And all the cases, the medicine of fever would be different. It is not that we just take one paracetamol and done with it. Okay. Can I go and take any medicine from the chemist? No. There are so many different kinds of medicines in so many shapes, so many colors, so many states. Can I take any medicine? No. Can I take any amount of medicine? No. Can I go and take medicine eternally? No. If each and everything regarding the medicine is prescribed by the doctor. What to take, when to take, how to take. Similarly, we should understand the scriptures under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. He will prescribe what is right for us and what is not. There may be so many injunctions in the scriptures, but what has been prescribed for us, we have to follow that. That is the injunction. Like we see in the case of Arjuna, when he was giving so many arguments for not fighting. All the arguments were scriptural. He was not doing any kind of mental concoction in that. But in spite of passing so many arguments, Arjuna was not satisfied. He was not satisfied by passing so many arguments. So therefore, Prabhupada explains in chapter 2, verse number 8. Prabhupada writes, academic knowledge, scholarship and high position, etc. are all useless in solving the problems of life. Help can be given only by a spiritual master like Krishna. Therefore, we have to take shelter of Krishna. Only then we will get the help. Another place, Srila Prabhupada writes, Prabhupada says that in chapter 4, verse number 34, Prabhupada writes, nor by independent study of books of knowledge can one progress in spiritual life. One has to approach a bona fide spiritual master to receive this knowledge. Therefore, we have to understand the scriptures, but under the guidance of a spiritual master. And if we don't do that, we will end up getting confused. For satisfying our own purpose, we will take some verse from Bhagavad Gita, we will take some verse from Bhagavatam to satisfy our own desire. But we have to follow what the spiritual master is saying, what Prabhupada has prescribed for us. That is what we have to follow. Only then we will be able to understand Krishna. So the entire process is to understand Krishna. All our endeavors is to understand Krishna. Why? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha tvaktva deham punarjanma neti mameti suarjuna. So we have to understand Krishna tattvataha. But it is very difficult to understand Krishna tattvataha. Who can understand Krishna tattvataha? One who is very serious. Who can be serious? Only one who has received mercy of Krishna can be serious. How can we receive mercy of Krishna? By serving Lord. When we serve the Lord, then we receive mercy of Krishna. So how much we have to serve the Lord? Once in a week? Twice in a week? No. We have to serve Krishna satatam. Regularly, continuously we have to serve Krishna. And when Krishna sees that this boy is trying to serve me, then Krishna will give us the intelligence. He will give us the mercy to understand him. Tattvataha. And this process will make us pure. So we don't have to depend on jnana and karma. We have to take this pure process of devotional service. And by taking this process of pure devotional service, we will become pure. What is the first step in becoming pure? Just hear about Krishna. So when we just hear about Krishna sincerely and submissively, then what will happen? Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. We have so much of abhadra in our heart. So much abhadra. We have rajogun, we have tamogun, we have so much of attachment in our heart. And we cannot get out of it on our own efforts. When we hear about Krishna, Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, Krishna is sitting in our heart. The contamination is also in the heart, and Krishna is also sitting within. And when Krishna sees that this person is trying to serve me, Krishna will clean all the abhadra and will make us pure. This is the part of Krishna. What we have to do? Simply we have to follow this process of devotional service. And rest, Krishna will take care. Why Krishna will take care? Because Krishna is our friend. Although he is equal to everyone, but he is special friend of his devotees. He is special friend. And because he is our special friend, he will protect us in all kinds of circumstances. So everything boils down to the fact that we have to improve our process of chanting and hearing. The better we do this, more Krishna will reveal himself to us. Ye yatha mam prapadyante tan sataiv bhajameham. We cannot understand Krishna by testing him. He is completely Swarat. So I just summarize what we discussed. We started our discussion with the fact that Krishna is Vishwavit. Vishwavit means he knows everything, what is going on right from the time of inception. If a businessman, a normal businessman, can know every nook and corner of his business, then how it is not astonishing for Krishna, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Andantarastham Parmanu Chayantarastham, for him to understand each and everything. Therefore, we have to be very cautious. Bandho mui savdhan mate. We have to be very cautious, and we have to be very honest to Krishna. We have to be very honest to Krishna. We can hide things from people. We cannot hide anything from Krishna. Then we discussed about how Krishna is Swarat. He is completely independent, and we cannot understand Krishna by challenging him. We can understand Krishna only by the attitude of service. Next, we discussed third point, which was the importance of getting back to basics. We understand these basic principles. We may think like the principle of Pratyaksh Praman, Anuman Praman, Shabd Praman. We may think that this knowledge is very basic, but it is very fundamental thing for our devotional service. So we should always remind us of these facts. Then we discussed about the importance of reading scriptures. How by reading scriptures and developing this knowledge, our angle of vision will change. There is a change in the vision. Then we will not believe in what we are seeing, we will believe in the knowledge. If we see that, oh my God, this person is cutting the stomach of another person, and we shout in front of everyone that this man is cutting this man's stomach, but then we get the knowledge that actually surgery is happening. The person who is cutting the stomach is the doctor, and the other person is a patient, and he is treating the disease. So these two people, they are seeing the same thing. First one is seeing the cutting of the stomach, another one is seeing that the surgery is happening. There is a change in the angle of vision. Both of them, they are seeing the same thing. In spite of seeing the same thing, they are not seeing the same thing. So this change of vision comes by reading the scriptures, Shastra Chakshu. But we cannot understand the scriptures simply by reading the scriptures and developing this academic knowledge. We have to take the help of a bona fide spiritual master who will prescribe to us what is to be read, how much to be done, what to be done, to what extent to be done. Everything is prescribed. When we follow under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, then only our knowledge will become perfect. And in this entire process, what we have to do, we have to be very prayerful to Krishna while serving him, that my dear Lord, you are sitting in my heart as Paramatma, and I am completely bewildered by your external energy, and I cannot protect myself. Only you are my protector, and this heavy Rajogun and Tamogun is disturbing me every now and then and is not helping me to serve you. Therefore, please help me. When we do such kind of prayer to Krishna with sincerity, sincerity comes by serving, sincerity comes by tapasya. We cannot just artificially become sincere. Krishna knows everything. So when we do tapasya, and tapasya means following the 4 regulative principles. When we do tapasya and we try to do our services nicely, Krishna sees, yes, this is sincere. And then Krishna will reveal himself to us. So this is how we can understand Krishna, and then we will not become, we will not get vimohit. We will not get bewildered, we will not get illusioned, we will be right, we will be walking straight on the path of back to Godhead. So thank you very much for giving me a chance to share my understanding on this beautiful verse. Now I would like to speak little bit on Prabhupada Katha. Hanumanji was given a very wonderful task to go to Lanka to find Sita. Externally, if we see that Hanumanji was not given any identity of Krishna, of Mother Sita. No photo, nothing. Supposedly, if tomorrow, if someone tells us that there is a person named Mukesh Gupta, so you go to Indonesia and find him. Indonesia is so big, how will you, and you don't know anything about Mukesh Gupta, how will you go to Indonesia and to find him? So such kind of amazing task was given to Hanuman. Go to Lanka and find Sita. But he took to this impossible looking task to find Sita. Because Hanuman is a pure devotee of Lord Ram, he could do this task. Similarly, Lord Krishna is giving such amazing, impossible looking task to his pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was given a task to go to America and go to the Western countries and preach. No help, no money, no assistant, nothing. Just go and preach. Adbhut. He goes on the way. He gets 2 heart attacks. By getting some common cold, we are not able to do our services. Prabhupada is getting 2 heart attacks on the way. But he continues on his mission. Adbhut. He reaches America. He does not know where to go, left or right. He just have 40 rupees. Prabhupada says that I just had $7 with me. And it was just 1 hour expense in New York. If you go from Juhu to Bandra, we will carry at least 500 or 1000 rupees. Prabhupada was carrying just 40 rupees with him. Adbhut. Then he goes and preaches to these American people who are completely intoxicated. Supposedly, if tomorrow an old person from Nigeria or Uganda comes to us and in his broken English he tells something to us, would we be able to surrender our entire life to him? No. But when Srila Prabhupada went from India to America, he was 70 years old. He had a Bengali accent of speaking English. And he was speaking to people who are completely intoxicated. But Prabhupada, because of his purity, with his spiritual potency, he made thousands of people to surrender his life, surrender their life to him, surrender their life to Krishna. Adbhut. In 11 years, Srila Prabhupada developed 108 centers around the world. And there is no fixed income. That this much amount of donation will be coming, or this is our monthly income. To build a simple house, paying the installments can take 37 years for us. Prabhupada in just 11 years time, in the entire world, created 108 centers with no fixed income. Adbhut. Thousands of people, they devoted their life for Krishna. If we go to any company, suppose if you are a manager and you have 50 or 100 people working under you, they will follow your instructions. Why? Because they are getting paid. They get money. And because of the money which is being paid, these people will follow your instructions. They will do what you are saying. But still, there would be a lot of repercussions coming. There would be a lot of opposition coming from them. Although we are paying, but so much of repercussions come. So much of opposition comes from them. But Srila Prabhupada has created an organization which is working on the voluntary basis. Why these people in the company are following the instructions? Because they are getting money. If supposedly if there is no money given to them, and these are the people who are bringing all the money, then will I be able to manage them the way I did earlier? No. But here we see in ISKCON, this organization which is running completely on the voluntary basis. Even those who are doing the voluntary service, they are bringing the money by fundraising, by bringing donations, everything. And there is nothing physical, material which is given to them in terms of money or anything. But still, the organization is running globally. To manage such 50-60 people would be very difficult in a company. But we hear Prabhupada and his wonderful disciples and their disciples are managing this organization which is running globally. And not just managing, it is expanding day by day. No amount of MBA or any management degree any material degree can help to do this. Only by the spiritual potency this can happen, which Srila Prabhupada has given us in the form of this process of devotional service, in the form of his books, in the form of his instructions. No organization in the material world can do this. This is Adbhut. The purport of Srila Prabhupada, the same purport of Srila Prabhupada is being read by the neophytes. When we neophytes, we read these purports, we rise above our animalistic tendencies to become humans, to understand the aim of life, to come to the level of a Brahmana, to become a Vaishnava, to dedicate our life for Krishna. And the same purport is read by the pure devotees. And both of them are getting benefit. We neophytes, we are getting the chance to improve. And these pure devotees, they are relishing Krishna's pastimes by reading this same purport. The purports are so adbhut. They are living purports. They are not just some words which have been put together. These purports, they interact with us depending upon our consciousness. In engineering, we read at least 8 subjects in each semester, and there are 8 such semesters. So at least we have 48 subjects in engineering. And for each subject, there are at least 500 pages read. So for 48 subjects, at least 24,000 pages are read for engineering. But we are reading one Bhagavad Gita, which is not 24,000 pages. But we are not able to understand this Bhagavad Gita. Why? This is not just some novel or some text that you read and master in it. This is Krishna. Bhagavad Gita is Krishna, can be understood only by serving. And every time we read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam, we develop newer and newer understanding. The purports of Prabhupada are adbhut. They are wonderful. They are living purports. Prabhupada left the world, departed from this physical world in 1977. Most of us came into this mission after Prabhupada departed from this world. At least after 1, 2 or 3 decades we all came. But as we are progressing in devotional service, we are feeling the presence of Prabhupada. We are feeling ourselves closer to Prabhupada. Why this is happening? How is it possible? Like I gave this example earlier also. My great-grandfather, he died in 1970s only. Prabhupada also left the world in 1970s. But today I don't feel any relation with my great-grandfather. Not even a tinge of relation. But as we are progressing in devotional service, we are coming closer to Prabhupada. Now someone will say that you are hearing about Prabhupada, you are not hearing about your great-grandfather. But even if I hear about my great-grandfather, I will not feel connection with him now. I will not get any realization for my great-grandfather. But as we are seeing that on this 125th Vyas Puja celebration of Prabhupada, so many thousands of devotees from so many countries will share thousands of realizations for Prabhupada. Because the presence of Prabhupada is not dependent on the physical state. He is a spiritual personality, he is a Vaikuntha man. So his presence is not dependent on the physical, his physical presence is not dependent on any other physical factors. This is so adbhut about Prabhupada. So everything is wonderful about Prabhupada. Prabhupada is simply wonderful. So thank you very much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my understandings. So if there are any questions or anything, I can take questions, comments, feedbacks. Thank you very much. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल।